Aloha everyone, Jody Mountain here with Lineage of Light and more of the Ancient Wisdom series. I'd like to talk a bit today about an ancient principle that has a really pervasive and positive effect on how we navigate in our daily lives. And it's around the topic of coming back to life. And it has to do with a foundational principle in ancient wisdom that at the bottom line of everything that's going on this planet and in the universe, or one of the bottom lines, is life itself. So if we look at nature and we see that, you know, the winds are blowing and then they're still, and the ocean is crashing to the shore and moving in all these different currents, and the sun rises in the morning and it sets in the evening. These foundational rhythms of life fill our world. And same inside our bodies, as we discussed before, that there is just this life pumping through us, the mystery of life moving through us. And what we generally do as humans is we come up into this conceptual mind of ours and we obsess about what we think and what we believe and what we know and what's going on and how I feel about it, and all the different undulations that we fill our attention with. And I guess one way that this work has been really helpful for me is by keeping the practice of bringing my attention back to life. So underneath all of this, no matter what I think or believe, the sun is still rising and it's still setting. No matter how upset I get in any particular moment, if I'm lucky and if I'm blessed by the mystery, this heart keeps pounding, keeps beating, and my blood keeps running. And so when we keep the practice of bringing our attention back to life, what's really true right now at the foundation is that this breath is coming in and is coming out. Now we can take this breath and we can manipulate it with our emotions and our thoughts, and we can be like, we can do all kinds of things with our breath. But if we were to do nothing with our breath, it still keeps going in and out. When we're sleeping and we're not aware, most of the time that breath is still coming in and out. So what happens when we unlock life from the grip of our conceptual mind and we let go and just say, okay, life is just happening? Then what that's brought is that as we move through life, or for me, as I move through life, things rise and they fall in terms of our conceptual world. Things are still happening. Joyful things are still happening. Annoying things are still happening. Frustrating things are still happening. But these things are rising and falling within the foundation of life itself. So there's an awareness that grows that there is this wide space of life that is holding everything, that is supporting everything, and that I can rest in that. We can rest in that. So when something frustrating occurs, instead of just letting that take over my whole system, I can be frustrated and I can feel what I feel and I can meet the situation. But there is this deeper foundation that I realize this is not everything. This is not the end of the world. This is simply a moment that is arising in life, and it's also going to fall. It's also going to undulate, and then a joyful moment will arise, and that is also going to fall at some point. And I think what we can get caught up in this culture is this rabid attachment to feeling good and feeling well and feeling joyful. And that can be just as dangerous as getting caught up in the frustration and the anger and all of the other kind of negative emotions. So, because then when we don't feel joyful and blissful, then we might get depressed, or we might wonder what's wrong with us, when nothing is wrong with us. It's just that lots of things, life in many different levels, many different kauna, are rising and falling in the context of this bigger life. And when we can rest in the bigger life, when we can cultivate our attention to include and to recognize this bigger life that is always happening, we are then dropping into the frequency of the mystery, because the way everything in creation, including inside of our bodies, is operating is through this mystery of life, through this spirit of creation. And so that can be a practice to keep bringing our attention back to that foundation. Just in what we notice outside of ourselves, we notice, and recognize that the sun is shining, and that, to just feel that connection with all of life, and then to feel inside of ourselves that foundation of life. Oh, this breath. Just to take a moment and to feel this movement in my body of breath, this feeling of my feet on the floor. That's all just life happening, regardless of what our conscious mind is doing. So I will leave that with you today, and hope that if it resonates with you, that it can assist in finding a deeper resting place, a deeper equilibrium in this world of ours right now that is so undulating on so many levels, that we can all rest in life. If you're interested in more of this work, I think in the link below, in the comments below, or in the blurb below, there are links to my online school, as well as my live retreats with Lineage of Light. So feel free to check those out. And if you like this and don't want to miss an episode, if you like the Ancient Wisdom series, you can go ahead and subscribe. And that's how it works on YouTube. Aloha, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening.